Hi, I'm Tim Whitmire with First Integrity Mortgage, and joining me today is Kirk Faubel with Kirk D. Faubel Insurance Advisors. So thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So Kirk is in a networking organization that I'm involved with, BNI, Business Networking International. That's where we met, and he recently became a member of our chapter, and I've been thrilled working with him. So Kirk, let me ask you this. How long have you been in the insurance business?
Sure. I've been in insurance for about 6 years. So insurance is my second career after a long career in corporate America.
Nice. And what got you into it?
I was looking to get out of retail and had some friends that were working at a larger local insurance company, and they were always looking to hire, and they thought it would be a good fit. It was someone that had worked for me in one of my companies before, and also in my BNI chapter, I had someone that also worked there and thought it would be a good idea to apply. As a person, I'm fairly risk adverse. I think through a lot of things and think of a lot of consequences, so it's a pretty good fit to go into insurance.
Nice. And then how did you get to where you're at today with your own agency?
Sure. Great question. Like many people, I started as a captive agent, which means you work for one specific company. So here in St. Louis, I work for Liberty Mutual. It's a great place to get started. Excellent training program. Learned a lot about the business. They covered all my training expenses, testing, getting licenses, all that good stuff. So had a good start in the business, good foundation. Moved on to country companies because they offered a little bit more flexibility and opportunity to own your own business. Learned from my retail days that customers like choices. And in a very, very difficult insurance world, trying to have one carrier to fit everybody just doesn't work. So I knew the independent channel, meaning I work with a bunch of different carriers, was really the best choice moving forward. So in 2020, right in the middle of a pandemic, right when the pandemic started, I went out completely on my own with no salary, no base pay, anything along those lines, and started working under someone else's umbrella, under their independent agency, someone local here in O'Fallon, Missouri. And then he decided to move to Florida at the end of, I guess it would have been 2021. And so I had the choice of either trying to find another agency to work under or opening my own business, and I opted to open my own business.
That's awesome. So you really must believe in yourself to be willing to open your own business.
Yeah, belief in myself, and also the education that you've gotten in it, plus my past business experiences. I know how to treat clients, know how to communicate well with them. I learned enough about the business and the technologies that are available, and just really wanted to control my own destiny more than anything, rather than focusing on what someone else's objectives were in their business. Wanted to be able to focus on my own objectives and my own community.
That makes a lot of sense, and I have so much appreciation for that. So let me ask you this: what does the experience look like when someone reaches out to you?
Sure. So I try to be as flexible as possible. The way that someone who's 60 years old wants to be communicated with is totally different than someone who's 25 and maybe getting their first house. So because I'm a Gen Xer, I've got a lot of experience with no computers, with computers, texting, email, whatever the case may be. So try to meet them in the middle to where they're most comfortable. And in today's world with really busy people, I do a lot of work by email. People send me their documentation, or they'll ask me to email them a questionnaire. That way, if I'm tied up when they're free and vice versa, we can kind of both work on our own time. So we'll start that way and ask a lot of questions. I really want to learn about my client because there is no one size fits all insurance policy. On auto, for instance, I may have some standard coverages that I use with most people, but most people doesn't mean all people. So really try to find out what their wants, needs, what they have at risk, because the more we have at risk as a person, the more that can get taken away in a lawsuit and the better insurance coverage that you need.
That makes sense. And I think that's the whole point and the whole purpose of it being an independent agent, so that you have those options and you're able to customize coverages depending on what the specific scenario is and what the situation is. And I loved how you're expressed how you're flexible with how you communicate with people, because that's incredibly important, because you're absolutely right. The age differences and how people want to operate can differ from person to person, and being flexible and communicating with people the way they want to be communicated with is very, very important. And that's something I appreciate about Kirk as well, is that we do operate much in the same way. Like as a lender, I've got several investors that we call them that are wholesale mortgage lenders, and one might have the best product for one situation, another might have the best product for another situation. So there's a lot of parallels of how we operate.
Absolutely.
So one thing I wanted to talk about as well with Kirk is he's not just an independent agent. He takes it farther. He looks more than just who has the best rate. He actually goes above and beyond, in my opinion, to really ask the questions that you talked about and figure out really truly what the needs are, to really truly put you in the right product that you need.
Sure.
So I just had a customer recently who's buying a home, and Kirk was asking him, was like, okay, how old is the roof? And what kind of wiring do you have? And those sort of extra questions, instead of just being an order taker, here's your policy, he really goes the extra mile to figure out, how can I save you money, and how can I make sure you're insured properly? Because another person I referred to him wasn't really truly insured fully, and you uncovered that.
Absolutely.
So I definitely have much appreciation for that, and that's why you're here today, because I wanted to introduce you to everyone that is in my sphere of influence. So let me ask you some questions about you.
Absolutely.
Like, so I guess, like, what do you do for fun? What do you do in your free time?
Lots of different things. So I've got lots of hobbies, kind of the jack of all trades, master of none. So love to take care of my yard, and love working on home projects. I finished our addition on our home by myself on the inside. So all the trim work, had some help with drywall sanding and mudding, because it takes time. But my family, we love to go hiking. Went to the Cardinals game yesterday. So any live sporting events, love to travel, love to see different parts of the world. My family, if we travel somewhere, we're one of those families that needs a vacation when we get back from vacation, because typically we played so hard and ran so hard on vacation that we're exhausted when we get back. We don't typically we're just going to sit on the beach for 7 days. If we go to Chicago or New York, we're going to hit every museum, every sightseeing place we possibly can, because it's easy to say we're going to come back and do this, but we all know that
you never know.
Nothing is promised. My career's not promised. Nothing is. So we try to take it all in when we can.
I love that. You're an active person. I see your post on Facebook, and I'm like, yes. So that's good stuff. So if someone wanted to get a quote or had questions about insurance, what's the best way for them to reach you?
There's many easy ways. And again, I can meet people in a lot of different spots, wherever they're at. I do have a web page where people can put their information in right away. Email, phone call, text. I have people that message me on Facebook Messenger from my business Facebook page. I also have people on like Nextdoor apps that will reach out in Messenger via Nextdoor. So whatever's most convenient for them, just to get the conversation started, works for me, and we'll figure out a way to communicate with each other.
Very nice. And if you would like a warm introduction to Kirk, I'm happy to do that for you as well. So Kirk, thank you for spending this time with us today, and I very much appreciate you coming in and sharing your experience and how you can help.
Awesome. I appreciate being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.